Honorable Mao, we are getting into another election without the electoral reforms that you hyped when you were joining government. How unfortunate is it?
I've had a lot of complaints about electoral reforms, and to the best of my knowledge, it is not just about electoral reforms. I think we should broaden your question. The question is, how can we improve the quality of our democracy? And that is not just about elections. It is also about the political culture.
Are you changing your tone? Initially, yes, hyping electoral reforms.
I believe in electoral reforms, but I'm just trying to contextualize what I think matters most. For instance, if we do not change our political culture, where we respect each other, where we accept that we can agree and even agree to disagree, no matter the electoral reforms. So the problems of our elections is not so much about the laws. The laws are largely okay. In fact, our fundamental proposal as the Democratic Party has been to change the electoral system, and our proposals are on the table. I'm not a dictator. I don't run the government alone. I am not the only person involved in this, and the media likes making it appear as if I have a switch in my office and I can switch on electoral reforms or I can switch it off. The executive in which I sit has a head, and he has all the proposals that are needed.
You said the executive lacked appetite for reforms.
If the executive had the appetite for the proposals we made, remember the proposals we made about changing the voting system were put on the back burner by none other than the president himself, namely proportional representation, which would solve actually our biggest problem, a bloated parliament which is outsized and where some votes are rendered irrelevant. If you can have members of parliament who are sworn in with less than 30% of the vote just because there are many candidates in the field, to me those are important reforms, and I'll continue advocating for them. So what I do is not called hyping, it is called advocating, but I need the support of other people in the government.
For now, do you feel a sense of frustration that what you pushed for has not come to fruition at least sanitize the 2026 elections?
If the likes of you had been solidly behind me, instead of spending a lot of time abusing me, I think even the government would have been persuaded. But if you spend all the time talking as if my efforts are not useful, then you also weaken my arm inside the government.
Okay, generally speaking, did you promise Ugandans hot air? These are what the things you promised: getting the prisoners, political prisoners out, instituting the electoral reforms, kickstarting the debate on transition. Nothing has come to pass.
Kagwanjala, you are notorious for putting words in people's mouth. As you notice, the issue of prisoners could never have been the number one thing. I generally talk about human rights. Namely, we have gotten the mentally ill people who are in jail. The vast majority is out. We did that. Number two, for the so-called political prisoners, we started pushing for them to be released even before I became a minister. You remember the iPod summit where we sat in Kololo after the 2021 elections, and many more are being released. We believe that if the state has a case, then they should go and quickly prove it in the court So it cannot be that a Minister of Justice can promise to free prisoners.
You promised more than what you could deliver.
The promises are by two parties, as you know. Because when you have an agreement, you make a promise. And in that promise, you work towards it. But I'm very proud to be the person who has sparked a debate about 4 fundamental issues, namely national dialogue, national reconciliation, constitutional reforms, and transition. That's basically what everybody is talking about in broad terms. And that's by setting an agenda, you feel a sense that you are mobilizing. But I wish I was not preaching to people who are deliberately deaf. They hear, but they don't want to appreciate. But I will not give up, because
who are you referring to?
The likes of you.
Or the government you're serving?
I think it is mainly the people who know that these are good ideas. If you mix up the message and the messenger, you lose up on a good thing.